Hello and welcome to Montgomery County Community College. This is the quarterfinals of the National Junior College Athletic Association Region 19 Atlantic District Tournament. We are here inside the Mustang Arena here at the central campus of Montgomery County Community College, where the number one seed Lady Mustangs are taking on the 8th seed Lady Buccaneers of Atlantic Cape. I'm your host, Donnell Peak, alongside with my homeboy, J.D. Salzberg. How are you feeling about today's game today?
I'm feeling really good about today's game. Lady Mustangs coming in with a 22-2 season, sitting 13th in the nation for the NJC AAE Division III women's basketball bracket. So a lot to look forward to, and a big run that starts right here in our arena.
Yeah, and I do want to mention that this year has been a historic season already for the Lady Mustangs, with being the first time the EPAC champs. Last year they were co-EPAC champs in 2024 last season. However, this year they've taken the EPAC by storm, the region by storm, and also the nation by storm by being ranked 13th in the nation. By the way, first time in school history.
Yeah, and I think that's something incredible to look at, and it's going to be an incredible postseason for these Lady Mustangs tonight, of course, up against the Atlantic Cape Buccaneers. The winner of this game will go on to play on Thursday against either Northampton or Brookdale. So excited to see what that matchup looks like. Of course, we don't know the winner of that game because they're playing that right now. So excited to see what those matchups look like throughout the night, throughout the day, and throughout the week as we continue forward. So we're going to take a look here at the Buccaneers roster.
And as you see, the Buccaneers come in with just 6 players right now. They're just trying to get themselves warmed up. Being the 8th seed, there's a lot of stigma with being the low seed going into any kind of tournament.
Yeah.
But you never know with the passion that the coaches try to tell their girls and just the motivation that they have going into this game. However, Coach Collins of the Mustangs have really come alive this season, and really since she's got here at Monco, she has turned the female athletics around for Monco. First time becoming EPAC champions last season, and now taking the championship, EPAC championship this season, and looking to win the national tournament as well as the National Junior College Region 19 tournament as well.
Yeah, and that number one seed cannot be understated about her leadership and her ability to lead this team to that first seed. Mm-hmm. And of course, it gains you the advantage, home court advantage. If they make it throughout the playoffs on Thursday, on Saturday, they will continue to be at home for those games. So, gives that home court, gives that hometown vibe, which is absolutely incredible. And to be able to lead that team to a 22-2 season and that top speed in, I believe, what is her second season?
This is actually going to be her 4th season, or third season.
Third season with the team.
As head coach, yeah. And when she came in, she always mentioned that she wanted to change the program around, and she wanted to really make a statement to the league that, wherever she goes, she's going to turn the program around, and she's done that here quite with a great job.
Oh, yeah, and really, a great roster of some really, really talented athletes. Taking a look now at some of our stat lines here, some of our, leaders throughout this Region 19. Molly Butler, one who stands out, sitting number 5 in field goal percentage at 53.4%. And then on some of the other stat lines that I've got pulled up here, Rachel Dunn sitting 5th for free throw percentage at a staggering 73.3%. And Ish Walker with 44 blocks sits number 5 for blocks.
Right, think about that. 44 blocks in a season. I mean, that's really impressive. Yeah. And then we also have Adriana Goldston with 115 assists already. I mean, she top 5 in the region for a reason.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because as we look at the stats here in front of us, 5 players from the Mustangs are or top 5 in some categories in the region. Yeah. And that's just, to me, that just goes to show what the amount of work that the ladies put in, the amount of time and practice that they try to do as much as they can every single game and every single day.
Yeah, and I think, again, looking at these stat lines, the storyline that kind of gets built out here is how well-rounded this team is. It isn't like everything's on free throws or everything's on blocks. It's 5 distinctly different stat lines that really play into the fact that this team on any side of the ball that they need to be on will play effectively and will be a nuisance.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I do want to mention is there has never been, when it comes to women's basketball, this is the first time that the Lady Mustangs will be really competing for a national championship.
Yeah, and to get through this tournament and to get that invitation to go to
Rochester, Minnesota is where will be the top 12 teams from all over the country will be competing for a national tournament, and Montco is right up there with them.
Yeah, and to see how far we've come as a team to really want that to be this top-seeded team, and obviously to have a little bit of that pressure going into the postseason of we put ourselves into this 22-2 season. We're ranked 13th in the nation. Let's show the Region 19 what we're made of. Get through this and make our way over.
Yeah, and that's something that was very. I know that Coach Collins has talked to her girls about that all since last year, really, and really since she's came to being a head coach here at Montco, is that what does it take? How hard do you want to win? What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to do? How hard are you willing to work in order to raise up that trophy at the end of the season and say that we're the world champs?
Yeah, and these girls have shown that. I mean, the last game that at least I was able to see was our home game here against Camden, and you could see that in every facet of the game that they were able to play a very just upfront and forward team, looking for those blocks, looking for those steals. Of course, we talked about it during the game where we had a little bit of trouble with fouls in the beginning, able to shore that up towards the end. Really great adaptability from this team, and that ability to stay locked in over all 4 quarters is exactly what you want to see from a team like the Mustangs in order to continue this dominant run into the postseason.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be something challenging for the Lady Buccaneers of Atlantic Cape, is to really kind of keep their head up, head in the game, and really just put the pressure on Montco, because number 23 of the Atlantic Cape, Miss Bryce, the guard, she's from the Bahamas, I might ask. She has really tried to come in here and change the culture of Atlantic Cape, and she's just really been becoming a leader for the team. And we're really hoping to see how she's going to be able to play with just 6 players in this game.
Yeah, Mustangs sitting with 8 players on their roster currently, and 6 for this Atlantic Cape team. Like you just said, fatigue is going to be an issue throughout this game.
Yeah.
Less so for the Mustangs than the Buccaneers, but still the Mustangs are going to have to deal with it. So wondering how each team will play this game. Is Atlantic Cape going to come out less aggressive towards the beginning of this game to save some fuel for the end? Will the Mustangs play into that? How is each team going to play this game to make sure that they can not only get through, but to win after 4 quarters of basketball?
And that's what this is all about. That's why I love college basketball so much, is because no matter what happens throughout the season, the most important games happen at the end of the season, because it really defines of a team, a coach, and their players, who they really are, what they really do. And as you see, Mustangs are trying to get themselves together as they start clapping it up and getting themselves together. We will not see Alana tonight. She's on the bench. I don't know if there might be an injury report or something going on, but the Mustangs are also down 2 players as well. Mustangs got 6 players, and the Atlantic Cape has 6 players. So it Mustangs have 7 players, and Atlantic Cape has 6. So right now they're getting ready to shake hands prior to the game starting. And we're going to get things rolling as we start off with the lineup and get to the national anthem. So I'm really excited to see, how the Mustangs and Atlantic Cape face off tonight. And like you said, the winner of this game faces off against the number 8 seed, not number 8 seed, the number 5 seed Northampton, or number 4 seed Brookdale. And that's going to be a good game. That's going to be a good game. The Brookdale versus Northampton. Let's see out of those teams who will be playing between Montco and Atlantic Cape.
Yeah, I like a lot of the teams in this conference. Of course, we see, if you were to look at the bracket, the number 2 seeded team down there is Camden. And, that's a finals matchup that would really hark back to the season where, Camden won at home, Mustangs won at home.
Yep, just a few weeks ago.
If it would be the matchup on Saturday, which would be quite a fun one to witness. We'd be back here on Mustangs home turf where we saw them play a really good game. So, it all resets in the playoffs. Your wins and losses, that 22-2 record, again, I hark back to it. But, such a great record. But when you get to the postseason, you're
all that doesn't matter. All that's out the
0-0.
window. Yep.
And the second you get a loss, you're done. So,
yep.
Of course, we're going to want to keep things moving forward for the Mustangs. So it looks like we're going to get the Atlantic Cape roster right now.
The Mustangs are going to get their, might have some miking issues in-house, but they're getting their start now. And as you see, Kyla's making her start tonight. National anthem going on. All right. Getting things going.
Let's play some basketball. Very excited for the starting lineup from the Mustangs, of course. We talked about Ish a little bit earlier with those blocks, very physical on the defensive end. And we talked about Molly as well with her, I believe, field goal percentages being, fifth in the division. So excited to see what they can do. I know we talked a lot about Molly during that Camden game, who is just one of those under-the-rim shooters who you just would not see her coming. And then, of course, that ball's in the basket, and you're like, where did that come from?
Exactly right. and that's the cool thing about the Mustangs and their chemistry. Getting to this place in the season and being still core and still being together really speaks a lot about their values as a team.
Yeah. Here we go with the tip-off.
And it looks like Atlantic Cape is going to hold possession as number 10 for the Buccaneers swings it over to number 2. She shoots for a 3, and it's rebounded by Molly of the Mustangs as they bring it down to Asiana. Gets it across court. Swings it over. Almost gets it intercepted, but the possession stays in Monco.
Yeah, it's a bold opening for the Buccaneers there. Of course, going for that 3 shot is a very much a statement piece. Mustangs will retain possession of the ball as they inbound it.
As Asiana inbounds the ball to Kala, but gets it back and able to swing it over to Ish. As Ish swings it to Asiana, back to Rachel, and she swings it in. What a three by Ish Walker. What way to respond on their first possession.
Yeah, and again, I talked about that three being...
Oh, that was a two. Excuse me.
Two. So it's a nice little statement piece, of course, from that perimeter. Of course, not a three, but a great start from the Mustangs nonetheless. Great passing game from them to start things off.
Yeah, and Atlantic Cape tries to go up, and she goes up pretty strong, but Kala is able to get the rebound as Rachel Dunn is heading up the court. She swings it over to Ish, and Ish almost turns the ball over, tries to sing it to Molly, but Molly steps out of bounds, and that's her first turnover of the night.
Yeah, and an aggressive start again from the Mustangs.
She's trying to get it up court as fast as possible. Atlantic Cape. I'm not sure what Allison, number 10 from Atlantic, was trying to do, but she missed the layup, and Monaco gets the rebound as Rachel shoots off the side of the rim. Atlantic Cape gets the rebound. Number 4 for Atlanta. As a charge is called on number 10. Way to step into the paint by Ish Walker. It's a very, she's become a very great defender as the season has gone on. She's really sacrificing her body, and that's how she sets herself up to get all these blocks.
Yeah, and I really like that play from her. The ability just to kind of stonewall yourself and to just take it. I think is a very powerful statement to begin off this game.
And what way to start off this game with 2 assists back-to-back for Adriana, as she takes one to Ish, and then now she just takes a second to Rachel Dunn with her first bucket of the night.
117 assists for her then this season.
And it's almost tipped and almost stolen, but it stays Atlantic Cape's ball. And as you can hear, Coach Collins, where's your player? Where's your player? Telling the team to stay aware and really be aware of what's going on. And almost flicked away by Rachel Dunn. What defense is being held? There's a traveling call on number 4 of Atlantic Cape, Angelina Bell.
You're going to see the Mustangs inbound this ball. They've been fairly fast-paced on the offensive ends. We'll see what they can continue to do as that ball brought downfield again by Ish.
Taisha Walker swings it over to Adriana. She rips through. What a great rip through by Adriana. And misses off the top, but gets her own rebound. Swings it back over to Ish, and she shoots for 3. And it's an air ball, but Kyla is able to get the rebound. Swings it over to Rachel. And Rachel's fouled on the play.
Again, I'm talking about this aggression from the Mustangs, the ability to just catch, pass, shoot, or just catch and shoot. He just keeps on throwing the ball up. Eventually, a foul will occur, or you'll get that ball in.
Looks like there might have been a violation on the play. So now it's just one shot for Rachel. And it is in there.
Great start for the Mustangs, up 5-0 so far on the Buccaneers as they bring that ball back down the court.
2 of Atlantic Cape swings over to number 5. And it's almost picked away again by Rachel, but luckily enough, Atlantic Cape's able to keep the ball. 10 swings it over. She tries to look for something, and it's plucked away. Kala ends up getting the ball up, swings it to Adriana as she's rushing down the court to her right side, and she swings it over to Rachel. Rachel Dunn slows it up by Kala. Kala shoots a 3 off the backboard. Kyla Taylor for 3. What a great response by the Mustangs, starting off hot.
Kala just sitting up at the top of the key there, just waiting for her moment. The ball just gets passed her way, and it's almost like one of those shooting machines that you see. She just collects and throws and able just to sink it off the backboard.
And that's one thing that I've talked to Kala about before in the past is really just trying to, settle into the game and let the game come to her and really just playing her game. Because, being in the game, it can be very hard to try to, settle yourself in. You get anxious, you're nervous, or, it's just the beginning of the game to feel. But the fact that she was able to step into that 3 and make it off the backboard says a lot about her play.
Yeah, and to be able to step in not only at this moment in time, but you're at the start of the playoffs. There's a lot of nerves. There's a lot of that little fidgety nature that you have when you get into these kind of postseason games where sometimes you do lock up, sometimes you take that extra second to make your shot, and that ability just to no thoughts, just I know what I'm going to do. I'll play my game. And puts the Mustangs in a great position so far.
Atlantic Cape tries to break the press, and the ball is out of bounds. Another turnover by Atlantic Cape. Their third turnover of the game. I think it was just kind of too far out of number two's hand, out of number two's reach. As Ish Walker comes up, sets up the play, sends it to Asiana. She comes back over and bounces back to Ish. As she swings it back to her, and it was like a side fade almost. It almost went in too, and
yeah,
fortunately Atlantic Cape gets the ball.
I like that look from the Mustangs. Of course, not going to go in on that occasion, but showing them that no matter what's happening on the court, we're going to shoot that ball every opportunity we got.
Atlantic Cape, what a bucket by number 24 of Atlantic Cape, Melinda. She's really trying to keep Atlantic Cape into the game, as you can see, they're starting to play zone on the Mustangs as Molly shoots her first shot of the game and misses off the top right. And Rachel tries to beat and gets the steal from the behind. And Asiana gets up the court, swings it to Molly, and Molly just off the backboard gets it in. Molly's first basket of the night.
And Atlantic Cape trying to keep it aggressive, keep it quick. Again, in the hands of Melinda, puts those first points on the board for Atlantic Cape.
And number 4 for Atlantic Cape shoots a 3, but it's off the front of the rim as Asiana grabs the rebound and swings it up. Swings it to Ish as Ish swings it right to the right. Gives it back to Asiana, but Molly gets a rebound, and it looks like, it might have been fouled, but they didn't call it. The ball was blocked.
Yeah, Molly's looked good under that net all season long. Of course, we talked about it in that Camden game where just collecting rebounds and shots.
Number 24 shoots a 3, and it looks like out by Kyla Taylor, last touch by the Mustangs.
Mustangs have looked good on the defensive end to start off this game. 5 minutes and 8 seconds left in this quarter. So, of course, as we get further into the quarter and further into this game, you talked about that adaptation from the Buccaneers. We'll probably start to see that out of the Mustangs as well.
As Atlantic Cape gets it in, number 24 is trying to find some space as she drives, swings it out, but very, very patient defense for the Mustangs as they continue to just put pressure on the Buccaneers. As Rachel goes up and gets a great rebound, swings it, throws a great heave to Asiana, and a foul is called on the floor by number 4 of the Buccaneers, Angelina Bell, her first foul of the night.
Yeah, Mustangs' aggression from the start here has been great. That pass up court was great as well. I thought it was a great play design from the Mustangs.
And now we have our subs coming in, Sanaa and Kumba coming in for Carla and Molly.
Yeah, and as we continue to get this game in the beginning stages kind of out of the way, and I think it's something to show that the Mustangs with that catch and shoot mentality as we just see right now.
Asiana goes up and Kumba gets a rebound, but it's plucked away by the Buccaneers and it's fighting for the ball. She gets the ball back, sends it to Asiana, and she sends it over to Ish. And Ish tries to take it to the basket. Good pass straight to Kumba for Kumba's first basket of the night. What a pass by Takesha Walker.
Mustangs have been incredibly decisive with the ball tonight. They know whether or not they're going to pass it or they're going to shoot it the second they get their hands on the ball, and it's helped them put 12 points on the board.
And number 4 of Atlantic Cape shoots a 3 off the side of the rim, and Sanaa gets a rebound. Her first rebound of the night, showing why she's one of the other great players of the team. Swings it over, and Rachel gets a good pass to Kumba as Kumba goes up and misses off the side of the rim. And number 4 of Atlantic Cape, Angelina, gets her second rebound of the night. Atlantic Cape, number 10, trying to find some room to figure how they're going to get down to this deficit. 12-2, first quarter here with 3:45 left in the first quarter. And the ball's tipped by Sanaa. It is going to remain Buccaneers ball with 9 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, and before we get back into this, I think the Mustangs are really excelling tonight in being decisive, knowing what they're going to do with the ball the second they get their hands on it, whether that's a pass, a shot, a little bit of movement. We haven't seen that as much from the Buccaneers, though. As this game goes on, I expect to see it a little bit more.
Tries to get it in. Oh, and the ball is tipped again away. That's their 4th turnover in the first quarter. Number 24 of Atlantic Cape, number 24, Melinda, tried to find number 4, Angelina Bell, off the side. Just was off her side of her hands. Mustangs get possession as Sanaa tries to set up and shoots it over to Kumba. Right in the basket. Great pass by Sanaa to Kumba. Kumba's second basket. As Atlantic Cape tries to find some spacing. And number 2 for Atlanta shoots a 2, but it's off the side of the rim. And Ish gets a rebound, swings it over to Adriana as she backs it out a little bit, goes back, spins up, and tries to Euro step in between, but a foul is called on number 24 of Atlantic Cape. Excuse me, number 2 of Atlantic Cape.
And again,
Alexandria is called for the foul, her first foul of the night.
Mustangs continuing to find themselves at the basket, whether it's at the foul line or just finding the rim or the net.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that I think Atlantic Cape is going to have to do. They're going to have to find a way to kind of settle in and really get open shots as they try to do it the first time. And Adriana makes her second free throw. Mustangs up 15-2 with 2 minutes, just under 3 minutes left in the first quarter. And it's another turnover for the Buccaneers. That is their 5th turnover. 5 turnovers already in the first quarter for the Buccaneers.
Yeah, and those last 2 turnovers occurring on, kind of quicker passing plays where they want to get the ball between one another quickly. So just unfortunate miscommunications and just a little bit of off-tempo from each member of the team as the Mustangs regain that possession.
Now you see the Buccaneers are starting to play Monco in the zone, and it seems that Monco is really kind of prepared for it. And Rachel, and the ball gets blocked. As Kumba gets a rebound and puts it right back up. Kumba is really going off in the first quarter here, and as Rachel tries to almost steals the ball. Number 24, Angelina tries to find some space, and the foul's called on number 13, Rachel Dunn.
Yeah, Kumba's really been in a great position to grab some of those opportunities underneath the basket. And that's,
right.
Again, like you said, her 3rd shot or her 3rd make of the night, her 4th shot.
Yep.
So just taking every opportunity that's thrown her way, quite literally, to put the Mustangs up 17-2.
What a great play. Oh, and the ball steps out of bounds. That was a very interesting play by the Buccaneers. I just saw it kind of look like a little ring around the rosy there. And number 4 for the Atlantic Cape was open, I might add, Angelina, but the ball was just sailed on her and she stepped out of bounds.
And it happens again. It looks like the Buccaneers really trying to pick up the tempo a little bit on their offensive possessions to give themselves a couple of more looks at the net. This hasn't worked out as of yet as they look to get up to speed. Mustangs fully up to speed, though.
And Taisha Walker sends it over to Rachel, and Rachel just kind of, the ball goes off the rim a little bit, and Atlantic Cape, number 4, tries to find some space, and a foul's called on Adriana of the Mustangs.
On those, on the one play where the Buccaneers have been able to score, we saw number 24, Melinda, just charge upfield, just an all-out sprint, and now we saw that from number 4 as well, Angelina, and that gets her to the foul line. So, of course, looking to score the second set of points for the Buccaneers here.
Just to try to cut away at this deficit, and her first shot is made.
I'm trying to move around the momentum a little bit in the Buccaneers' favor and just get the ball rolling a little bit on some of those scores.
And makes her second, gets a friendly bounce on that second free throw as Atlantic Cape just tries to chip away at this deficit as Isha Walker brings up the ball, swings it over to Adriana, and she was looking to shoot, but she held on to the ball, gave it to Kumba. Kumba swings it over to Sanaa, and looks like there might have been a foul. Yes, they do call foul. Sanaa will be shooting 2. Number 24 of the Buccaneers, Melinda. Now the Buccaneers are in the bonus right now in the first quarter with just 95 seconds left in the first quarter. And Kyla comes in for Adriana.
Definitely not what you want to see if you're a Buccaneers fan. Of course, being in that bonus is not where you want to be.
Already. That's the scary part. Asiana comes back in. Oh, I think it was after the shot they probably were going to sub. So now it gets to the free throw for first of the night, and she airballs her first free throw, and some comes in. I'm not sure. Maybe she did get hit on her arm going up there and puts up the free throw, so she misses the second off the front of the rim, and Atlantic Cape number 10, Allison, gets the rebound as she aggressively comes up the court and tries to find something for the Buccaneers, and she drives to the basket, and the ball is blocked by Ish with her first block of the night.
And, looks like the Buccaneers trying something a little bit different as they try to get as far into the paint as humanly possible.
Yeah, it's possible.
We've seen a lot of perimeter passing from them, so nice to see them kind of switch it up and, again, just trying to put themselves in a different position going into the last minute and 17 seconds of the first quarter.
Buccaneers try to find something. Number 24 almost looks like a foul almost, but she was able to get it off and get it with a pass by number 24, Melinda, to number 2, Alexandria, with her first bucket of the night.
And again, just found the open player, able to get it to her even while going down, and scores another basket for this team.
Oh, and the ball is almost turned over. Possession will stay here at Monco's possession.
Definitely towards the back end of this quarter. We've seen it in the last couple of minutes. The Buccaneers finally being able to connect with one another, kind of sitting at that similar tempo. So the passing is getting a little bit easier. The shooting is getting a little bit easier for them. I think just a little bit of those postseason jitters of getting a little bit locked up, and they're finally relaxing themselves into what should be a great game.
23 seconds left on the shot clock. 50.2 on the game clock as they give it in to Kumba. She shoots a three, but off the front of the rim as goes out of bounds. Almost Molly tried to get the rebound, but she was just a little bit too late in having her foot touch the line and out of bounds. Buccaneers ball.
Yeah, Mustangs definitely going for a nice quick play. That shot out looked really nice, but unfortunately you just don't make them all.
So Atlantic Cape tries to figure out how to get this deficit down. Number 24, as the ball swings it over, she swings it in, almost gets stealed by Taisha Walker. Mustangs are trying to stay disciplined on defense. And another foul is called, and one on the play. Kyla is called for the foul. That is their second team foul of the first quarter. 26 seconds left here in the first quarter. 17-8. Monco is up by 9. And just like that, I mean, Atlantic Cape's in this game.
Yeah.
Shot is missed as Kumba gets the rebound, and it's out of bounds. What a catch.
Ball
you might want to sign that.
I mean,
somebody give me a Sharpie. Have this man sign it. That was a good catch.
Ball came straight back into the booth. I wasn't sure I was going to catch it or let it go past me, but
I saw my life flash before my eyes.
Me too.
I'm scared. I thought it was a boulder.
Yeah, Buccaneers able to retake possession, try to score some points in the last 23 seconds, so that shot clock is off. 23
seconds left. Atlantic Cape tries to get the ball. What a pass by number 4. And the traveling call is called on number 2 of the Buccaneers, Alexandria. I think she was just trying to find an open look, but she just took too many steps.
You see there, number 10 taking it up the court for the Mustangs. Hopefully one of the last possessions that we'll see in the first quarter.
And she just throws up a prayer and gets the ball back. Oh, and stolen back again by Atlantic Cape, number 10. And what a great layup by number 10 of Atlantic Cape. What a response. In that first quarter, Allison for Atlantic Cape makes it 17-10. Mustangs hold the lead.
Yeah, I think the Mustangs really came out swinging in the first couple of minutes of this quarter. And then, of course, at the end, we see the Buccaneers start to hit their stride. Of course, only down by 7 right now.
Yeah.
So, as we get into the second quarter, this is what we kind of talked about in the pregame is how will the fatigue affect both of these teams? Of course, the Mustangs got a bigger pool to pull from. So, of course, they've got a little bit more energy on their side and a little bit of, ability to kind of switch out those who aren't as fresh. And we'll see how that affects the Buccaneers. But so far, it seems like the more they play, the better that they've been playing. So playing into that smaller roster has been helpful so far. But, of course, you can only play so hard before you run completely out of energy.
And I think that's one thing that Coach Collins, of the Mustangs is really kind of trying to drill into her ladies is, this is a tournament. This is literally, if we lose here, it's over. There is no playing again. There is no second chance. There is no national championship. There is no region championship. This is where you need to turn up. This is where you need to prove not just to yourself, but to the region, to the league, and to the nation that it's all about Mustang basketball, and it always will be about Mustang basketball.
Yeah, it's win or go home as we enter into the second quarter. 10 minutes on the clock. Mustangs up 17-10.
Kate brings it in, number 24 of the Buccaneers is trying to find somebody. Melinda, she's directing traffic and swings it over. Number 4, she shoots a 3, sits it off the side of the backboard. Taisha Walker grabs a rebound and trips a little bit and is able to get herself and swings it over to Kyla as Kyla swings it off to Adriana and shoots a 3 but misses it, and Molly gets a rebound and she misses the layup, and looks like it's gonna be Buccaneers ball.
Mustangs and Buccaneers both started this quarter the same way that they started the first quarter. So, of course, Buccaneers start with a 3. They miss. Mustangs start with a 3.
Looks like a traveling call is called on number 2 of the Buccaneers, Alexandria. That is their 8th turnover in the first half.
Yeah, those turnovers, we talked about that in the Camden game, that it was really plaguing the Mustangs. So it's good to see them better in the turnover game, and you can see just how detrimental some of these traveling calls could be. Mustangs deep in Buccaneer territory, looking for some more points on the board to start the second quarter.
Molly tries to get open and swings it to Rachel, but Rachel isn't able to connect on the layup. Number 24 of the Buccaneers, Melinda, grabs a rebound and swings it over to number 10, Allison, as she tries to find players, and number 4 for the Buccaneers, Angelina shoots a 3 but misses off the side, and Adriana is able to get the ball up the court for the Mustangs and shoots a floater from about 15 feet
I like
off
that.
The glass.
I like that from Adriana, again, kind of mimicking what the Buccaneers have been doing in the paint, but a nice little steal.
Another steal by Rachel as she gets a steal and get a basket.
It's a great statement from the Mustangs, now up 21-10. They re-extend their lead past that 10-point mark, up to 11 now.
Atlanta Cape tries to find a way to just kind of cut down the lead, and defense by Taisha Walker. She is really turning up her defense on the defensive side, excuse me.
Yeah, and Mustangs a little bit more lockdown on the defensive end.
And almost another turnover by Atlantic Cape. And number 24 shoots a 3, and it looks like it's last touched by the Mustangs. Now from here, it looks like Atlantic Cape might have touched that, but unfortunately we do not have instant replay. Only in the national tournament is a team able to challenge a play, and it looks like we're going to have some discussion over with the referees at midcourt. They might be discussing, I think they're discussing the shot clock since it went out, since the last, I think what they're kind of hearing what they're saying is, okay, so they're putting 20 seconds on the clock, or 30, yeah, 20. So it seems that even though the shot clock went to 0, even though a away team touched it, and the clock was at 0, they still gave them an extra 20 seconds on the shot clock. Atlantic Cape is trying to figure out what they could do to get the basketball into the basket. And what a crossover by number 10 of Atlantic Cape. And a blocking foul is called by Kyla, her second foul of the night.
Again, the Mustangs continuing to try to play the best they can. Again, a little bit tighter on the defensive end, but won't save them from the foul line. Allison going to the line, trying to put the first points of the second quarter on the board for the Buccaneers. Of course,
And it looks like it's going in off the side. They're getting that extra bounce on there and it's really giving them some leeway.
Yeah, I think, with this second shot, she'll bring the game back under 10.
And the ball's off the top, off the back of the rim, and Rachel Dunn's able to come down with it. Isha Walker tries to find a way and turns the ball over. Almost, and Kyla's able to get on the ground and save the turnover. So as Asiana sets up the play, she throws up a floater off the side, and there's a foul called. Looked like it might have tripped over her legs.
Yeah, I think both players trying to move upfield fairly quickly. Just gets a little bit tripped up there, goes down. Of course, glad to see her get up with some help from the rest of her team.
Yeah, they were trying to get up the court pretty fast there. And sometimes, your legs just get tangled in with another person's leg, and it's just hard to kind of really control yourself with trying to stop and then go. And
it's not truly anyone's fault. It just kind of happens.
And another three is shot by number 24 of Atlantic Cape. She is setting a statement right now that just because we only have 6 players doesn't mean we're out of this game. Melinda, as Molly shoots a 2, but is kind of rolls in and out of the basket, and the sub is called as Sanaa comes in for Kyla. We'll see what what Coach Collins wants the Mustangs to do. Looks like they're going to bring a little bit of pressure on the Buccaneers.
The Buccaneers have been playing some great pressure up
Oh, and
front.
another turnover for the Buccaneers. That is their 10th turnover of the night. 10 turnovers here in the first half for Atlantic Cape. 21-14 Mustangs lead by 7.
Mustangs again looking to put some more points on the board. They haven't scored since their 4 consecutive points that were in fairly quick succession.
At the beginning of the second quarter, as Rachel gets it into Sanaa, and she steps through. Oh, what a good step through, but just isn't able to finish on the basket. And number 4 for the Buccaneers, able to get the rebound. Swings it back over. Buccaneers just trying to find a place, and number 4 shoots another 3 off the side of the backboard, but it's out of bounds. Mustang ball.
I think the Mustangs are going to be happy to get the ball back in their hands. I think they've been a little bit reactive in this second quarter, so hopefully to get more on the proactive side of things, set the tone yet again, and kind of get things started with this offensive possession.
Rachel goes in and tries to find Asiana. Almost gets it intercepted, but Asiana's able to get the ball off, and it's tipped by the Buccaneers, and it stays Mustang ball with 14 seconds left on the shot clock.
14 seconds left on that shot clock, 6 minutes and 7 seconds left. Mustangs still up 21-14, but of course that 7-point gap may be a little less than what the Mustangs want right now this far into the second quarter.
Mustangs, as they inbound the ball, gets it over to Rachel. She swings it back to Asiana. Asiana looking to make a play. Oh, she steps back and shoots a 3 off the side of the rim, and Sanaa is able to get a rebound. Oh, and it's blocked by number 24. And, oh, the ball gets right back. Asiana. Oh, Molly, excuse me. Asiana is able to get the ball back and scoop underneath and score.
Yeah, whether it's at the top of the key or at the bottom of the basket, Asiana just locked in on that net. Of course, able to give the Mustangs another 2 points, 23-14, the current score.
And the Buccaneers are trying to find just a little bit of breathing room to make a play as they try to find their best player, number 24 on the team. And number 10 tries to find, but she's able to get stuck, and Rachel picks it off. She heads straight to the basket and throws it up and misses off the side, but Taisha Walker is able to get the rebound and turns the ball over. And Rachel just kind of keeps her hand in there and almost gets a steal. But Buccaneers maintain possession.
And I love that play from Rachel, just to take the ball, runs it upfield, of course getting double covered there and just not not able to get the shot in. A great block from the Buccaneers, but of course, showing that Mustangs aggression and really gritting their teeth.
And number 4 of Atlantic Cape swings it over to number 2, but misses off the side of the rim as Taisha Walker grabs the rebound, swings it over to Asiana across court, and Asiana sends it to Sanaa as she goes up and makes the basket. What a great bounce. There's been a lot of friendly bounces tonight.
Yeah, and I'm loving the way the Mustangs are using that area underneath the rim. We've seen a lot of points already scored tonight from there.
Yeah.
Of course, they've been great from the perimeter as well.
And number 4 for Atlantic Cape.
That'd be Angelina.
A. Bell with her second three-pointer of the night. They are really not going away with these three-pointers here tonight. 25-17, 4 minutes left. All Mustangs almost turn the ball over as Rachel gets the recovery, sends it over to Molly. And Molly swings it back to Asiana. She shoots a 3, and it's off the side of the rim. But she's able to get a rebound back. Goes up and misses, but she's going to be at the line shooting 2. And that's one thing that I've really noticed about the Lady Mustangs, that when their shot goes up, they are eager to get to the basket, to get the rebound. And, you know, we saw in the past where they shoot the ball and they won't get the rebound. Another team with Camden, when we had with the Camden game, we saw a lot of Camden get rebounds. But tonight, the Lady Mustangs are getting their own rebound.
Yeah, especially from Asiana, coming from that three-point attempt, and all of a sudden she's just in the middle of the pack with the ball in her hands, gearing up for not only just to pass it out, but gearing up for just another shot. You know, I think speaks to a lot of the persistence that these Mustangs have.
Almost plucked away by Asiana as she almost stepped out of bounds almost by number 10 of the Buccaneers, but they were able to maintain possession as they try to swing it over and try to create a play. As number 24 of the Buccaneers, gets to the basket. Melinda.
We've seen a lot from Melinda. We've seen a lot from Melinda tonight. I'm noticing, you know, the play that the Buccaneers are trying to do. They try to open up that lane if you're looking from the basket on that left-hand side, and to hand it off to Melinda and to have her kind of swoop in on that arc to try to get a layup in. And of course, this is I believe the second time we've seen it, you know, come into a foul. And we've seen it, I believe, work one other time before. So, you know, points are on the board because of these shots.
And the foul's called on the Buccaneers. Number 10 of the Buccaneers is called for the foul. Allison.
Mustangs with possession here, up 27-19, so an 8-point game.
Asiana gets the inbound pass, and she sings it over to Rachel in the middle. What a good look by Rachel, but looks like the ball's turned over by Taisha Walker as the Mustangs look to try to get the ball back as Atlantic Cape brings it up the court. Number 10 for Atlanta, and there's a foul call by Asiana. Asiana's called by the foul. Looks like it's going to be on the floor here. And that's one thing that Atlantic Cape has been doing lately. They've really becoming kind of aggressive the second quarter, really trying to keep themselves within striking distance.
It's a lot of great contact from both teams on kind of both sides of the ball to try to create plays, create openings that we've seen the Buccaneers be able to do.
And we see that play a lot happening. As you see that play, number 4 starts from the right side of the key, comes around over the screen and comes like a loop almost. And it seems like that play's been working for them lately.
Yeah, but it hasn't been working out for the Mustangs now in the bonus with their 5th foul.
Number 4 misses her first shot. Her first shot of the night. Angelina Bell with her first shot missing. Now she's shooting the second shot.
A lot of great movement out of Angelina as she's been all over the place. Very quick player to get that ball back up the court. That's what they've been using her a lot for, as well as in that passing role. So Mustangs drive back up.
Oh, and Asiana throws the ball. Tries this. I see what she was trying to do. She's trying to get, and the timeout's called by Coach Collins of the Mustangs. Asiana tries to step through and gives it to Kumba, but the ball just seemed to sail, or it's really too hard on that play. As Coach Collins of the Mustang calls a full timeout. she wants to discuss with her teammate or her team what's going on.
Yeah, great time to refresh, kind of sit down. Again, both teams will do well with even a couple of seconds worth of breathers. We see both of them. 7 players for the Mustangs, 6 players for the Buccaneers. Game's only separated by 9 points right now. Of course, as we get into the later part of this quarter, we've also seen the Buccaneers, yet again, like we saw last quarter, in the last 3 to 4 minutes, really come alive on the offensive end and hit their stride a little bit. So, puts the Mustangs not on the back foot per se. They still have a great 9-point lead and still have a lot of aggression towards the basket, but puts them in a more defensive-minded position. How do we contain the Buccaneers so they don't have it as an explosive second half to the second quarter as they did in the first?
As we looking to come to almost the end of the second quarter, first half, where they're just under 3 minutes left. Mustangs hold the lead 27-19, just up by 8 on Atlantic Cape. Like I said, mind you, this is the playoff. This is the National Junior College Region 19 North Atlantic District Tournament. So the regular season records, all of that doesn't matter now, as the Atlantic Cape almost steals the ball, but Rachel was able to pass it over to Taisha, and she just airballs it off the butt. The Mustangs are able to get a rebound by Asiana,
And again, Asiana underneath that net the moment that she needs to be. We saw a lot of that in the Camden game with Molly.
Yeah.
But there were 3 Mustangs there. It really could have been any one of 3 that got that ball back. As the Buccaneers continue to hold on to the ball in the offensive end.
Seems like Kumba's good, and Kumba's able to get the steal. So Rachel sings it over to Taisha Walker as Taisha drives to the basket and is fouled.
Glad to see her get up quickly there. I heard that foul through the headphones, so
it was a shockwave.
Just like a hard fall that you just never really want to see. So glad to see her up. Glad to see her about to shoot 2. Mustangs charge that ball back up court. You saw them work really well with Ish on that defensive end. Exactly what we kind of talked about was limiting their offensive possessions.
Yep.
The closer we get to halftime.
Yep. And now she's shooting 2 as she misses her first shot. And there was a sub on the play. Lanique Price came in for number 24 of the Buccaneers, Melinda. And let's see if Ish can make her second free throw, as it does go in. Ish makes her second, and let's see if the Mustangs can continue to stretch this lead going into the end of the first half. And Asiana almost steals the ball. What way to pluck the ball out, but it stays here at Buccaneers ball.
It's a great play. Unfortunately, the execution didn't work itself out. She wasn't able to get that full hand on the ball.
And Cape brings it into number 4. Cape. And the ball is tipped and stolen by Taisha Walker. She swings it up to Asiana. Asiana swings it up to Kumba, and Kumba makes a great basket.
Mustangs now up 32-19, re-extending that lead past 10, one of their largest leads of the night since we had that 12-2 run at the beginning of the first quarter.
And Atlantic Cape shoots up the 3, and Rachel gets a rebound, and she sees and it's tipped away, but Taisha Walker is able to recover the ball, and she throws it up to Kumba as Kumba throws it up, but it seems like the foul is going to be called on the floor.
Both teams truly upping the tempo in the last minute and a half of this game as they kind of go back and forth. When you're playing the ball towards the perimeter, you're just kind of throwing it in and hoping that somebody's there. So, unfortunate that the Buccaneers didn't have anyone there to kind of receive the ball. Of course, gives the Mustangs back possession. They'll inbound it and see what they can do with the last minute, 29 seconds
the ball's
of this
tipped,
half.
and it looks like the Mustangs are going to be fighting for it. It looks like a jump ball is going to be called. Seems like the possession is going to stay here at the Mustangs.
Always feels like the last 3 minutes of any quarter or
it's always the hardest one, yeah.
It's always like 15 minutes worth of actual time. So
that was funny. Yeah, no, but that's the serious thing though. That's how bad do you want? Like I said, this is tournament time from now on. It's win or go home. There is no second chances. There is no third chances. This is it right here. So it really just comes down to who wants to win more.
Yeah, both teams very clearly putting everything on the court right now.
And a traveling call is called by Sanaa. Atlantic Cape gets the ball over with backcourt violation is called on Atlantic Cape. They have had 12 turnovers in this first half already.
Definitely something that you're going to want to, kind of slow down or stop. Timeout called there by the Mustangs. Was it called? Was there a timeout called?
I think it might just be a substitution for number 23. 23 going out, and number 4 is coming in for the Buccaneers. Taisha Walker. Oh, and the ball's tipped by Atlantic Cape. And it's tipped right back over. As a foul's called. Good way to get the ball back by Taisha Walker. She gets the ball stolen, but she's able to tip the ball right back into the hands of Kumba.
Both teams showing just such physicality throughout the first half of this game. Not afraid to get in each other's faces, not afraid to try to get a hand on the ball wherever that ball may be on the court. A lot of just like tip ups into the air on both teams where it's kind of not as much of a jump ball, but just trying to get to it, send it to your teammate, which I think is just a jump ball.
And Isha misses her first free throw, looking to make her second.
Both teams now in the bonus with 5 fouls apiece.
Isha misses her first, and Rachel is able to tip the ball up, gets it back to Kumba. Kumba makes another shot again. What a great response by Rachel as the ball goes through the hands of the Buccaneers and right to her hand, and she's able to swing it over to Kumba for the 2. And 24 is back, and she's trying to make a play for Buccaneers, and the foul's called on Kumba. Looks like a hand check.
44.5 seconds left.
Two shots.
In the half, 21 seconds left on the shot clock. Excited to see what the Buccaneers kind of come out with after these free throws.
Yeah, let's see how if they can keep that intensity up, because it seems like the Mustangs are bringing their intensity a lot more higher, and let's see if the Buccaneers can respond to that. As number 24, Melinda, makes her first free throw. She's been really the one kind of answering the call tonight, as she's been making threes, making free throws, and getting steals to be able to keep her team in the game, as she makes her second.
Score now down to 13. Mustangs' largest lead of the night, 15, of course, sitting 34-19. So, looking to continue to have this, dominant.
Asiana stops and pops as she misses off the back of the rim, and Atlantic Cape's able to get the rebound. And what a great read by number 4 of Atlantic Cape. A stop and come here move. Angelina Bell with her consecutive 2s.
It's another play that they've been trying a lot throughout this first half. Great to see it succeed this time around as the Mustangs go up for a shot.
Yeah, she tries to drive to the basket and gets fouled. And that's one thing that I did talk to some of the players on the Mustangs about is, what do they think is the most important thing when it comes to scoring? And they say get into the basket. And clearly we can see why, because Taisha Walker's at the free throw. I think it's more easier to get a foul called on you driving to the basket than it is just regular shooting 3. As she makes finally her first basket on her free throw, and let's see what she can make her second. With 6.6 seconds left on the first half, Mustangs up 35-23. And Kumba gets the rebound, but as a traveling call by Sanaa, I don't think they realized that it was the same team grabbing the rebound. So now Coach Collins is telling the Mustangs to get up with their press defense.
Yeah, aggression.
4 seconds left on the clock. Can number 24, and a foul's called. Foul's called on Rachel Dunn.
As we
with a push.
Yeah, last 1.8 seconds, of course, after these free throws go through. The question that I think the Buccaneers more than the Mustangs are going to have to ask yourselves after nearly 10 fouls in the first half is what happens when we get into foul trouble?
Yeah, facts. And the first shot is missed by number 24 of the Buccaneers, Melinda. She is their star player as she's trying to cut the deficit down a little bit. She makes her second.
35-24.
as Takesha Walker thought she could be able to get the pass off, but she had a clear lane to shoot the ball, but I don't think she was aware that the time was up. So with the first half, with over 24-35, Mustangs are up by 11. This is going to be a very interesting game here and a very interesting time for the Mustangs. Hopefully that they can, continue to extend their lead and continue to just, fight for what they want, and that's that championship ring.
Yeah, I think the Mustangs just need to continue playing their game. An 11-point lead is exactly where you kind of want to sit. So, of course, as we enter into the half now, both teams looking good. We'll see you guys after the break.
You're watching the National Junior College Region 19 North Atlantic District Tournament. Mustangs 35, Atlantic Cape 24. And we are back here at Montgomery County Community College inside the Mustang Arena, where number 1 seed Lady Mustangs are taking on the 8th seed Atlantic Cape Buccaneers here in the quarterfinals of the National Junior College Athletic Association Region 19. Region 19 tournament here inside of Montgomery County Community College Central Campus. Mustangs are up 35-24 as they look to extend the lead and advance to the Final Four of the Region 19 tournament.
Yeah, and of course that Final Four will take place on Thursday, either up against number 5 Northampton or number 4 Brookdale.
As Atlantic Cape gets the ball, as they try to find some kind of leeway to be able to, get this deficit down as they shoot another 3 and it's airballed as Adriana guys a rebound and she races down the court. Tries to get there faster, and she is over. Tries to get to the basket, and is able to get in the basket for 2. She takes it on herself.
Buccaneers, for the 3rd time, have tried that initial starting play where they go for the 3-pointer on the first try. Unfortunately, they're 0 for 3 on that type of play.
Yeah, and that's the one thing about Atlantic Cape that they're going to have to figure out themselves is really definitely how to figure out how to get to the basket. As you see there from number 24, their best player, Melinda, as she continues to put up numbers tonight.
And the other thing we got to think about going into the second half of this game, 10 fouls from the Buccaneers. I believe only 5 or 6 out of the Mustangs in the entirety of the first half. So foul trouble is going to be something you're going to want to avoid.
What a great pass by Adriana to Rachel Dunn as she is able to get inside a good position and make the 2.
Yeah, great points on the board for the Mustangs. Now 39-26, a 13-point lead for the hometown team.
And Rachel tries to pluck it out a little bit, almost gets a steal, but the Buccaneers are able to keep possession. It seems like the Mustangs are continuing to put the pressure on the Buccaneers.
And again, I think Melinda did a really great job of keeping track of the ball and knowing where it was going to go after that play. Again, just showing the skill that she brings to this Buccaneers team.
Yeah, that's one thing that really definitely separates her from a lot of different players is the leadership that she's able to bring to the Buccaneers as she swings it over. And number 2 of the Buccaneers, Alexandra, shoots a 3. Her 3rd 3 of the night.
And she's been electric from 3. We talked about that kind of statement piece that they were 0 for 3 on, but she's been sitting pretty with her 3 threes, showing that perimeter shooting that the Buccaneers have done pretty well with.
Yeah, and the Mustangs end up turning the ball over. Buccaneers try to get the ball back as they try to make a play. And number 24 shoots a 3. That's her, puts her over 20 points for the night. Melinda, she is continuing to show why she is their best player on the team. As the Buccaneers have chipped away at this lead, 39-32. Mustangs take the lead. Mustangs have the lead now as they try to find a play, and Mustangs just try to keep things slowed down the pace as they get it back to Rachel as she shoots a 2 and misses out the front of the rim. And number 4 of the Buccaneers gets the rebound, sends it over to number 24, Melinda, as she looks to make a play. She drives to the basket. She goes in and misses the layup, but it's fouled. She's going to the line shooting 2.
Yeah, again, Melinda being this leader on the team. I believe the rest are kind of following with that. And it's shown some great shooting to start off this second half. Of course, cutting down the Mustangs' lead to only 7 now. And giving the Mustangs their first foul.
And as Melinda makes her first basket on the free throws, first of the second half here, she's going to try to make her second.
Monco going to want to use the momentum they built in this first half.
Makes her second points, and it seems like she is on fire right now. If we were playing 2K, the fire would be under her feet right now. As the Mustangs look to respond, as Adriana swings it over to Taisha Walker, and Taisha gets it to Rachel as she races to the basket, and she swings it over to Adriana. Adriana looking to get to the basket, and Rachel gets a rebound and is fouled. What a great response by Rachel Dunn to be able to get a rebound and get the ball right back in the air.
Yeah, I like that play from Adriana over to Rachel, just driving into the paint, keeping that ball under the basket. It's where they've been successful in the first half. It's where they plan to be successful in the second half as well, continuing to try and hopefully build back up a little bit of a lead. Currently a 5-point game, hoping to make it at least a 7-point one right now.
Yeah, Rachel looking to get her free throws on, and she misses her first free throw. Second half, looks to try to just, settle into the second half with 7 minutes left in the third quarter. And she misses her second free throw, and Kumba gets another rebound and goes back up and gets another 2.
Great response by Kumba there, extends the Lanco lead, just like you said, up to 7.
And it looks like the Mustangs, Taisha Walker is getting defense on their best player. Seems like they really see if they can respond to it as they shoot a 3. Misses. Rachel gets the rebound and turns the ball over. And Euro steps in. Timeout is called. And it seems like Atlantic Cape's men's basketball is here supporting the Lady Buccaneers as they are on their feet right now. 30-second timeout by Mustangs.
Buccaneers have definitely taken the fight to the Mustangs here in, the first 4.5 minutes of this second half. Just great ability to get under the net the way that the Mustangs have in the first half, and the ability just to find the back of the net, something they weren't really able to do. A lot of shots from them, not a lot of makes from them in the first half, but kind of shored themselves up, kind of shaking things off, getting themselves loose going into the second half. The Mustangs are now the ones forced to respond. Again, up by 5, so you got a little bit of padding there, but when you had an 11-point pad going into the second half, you're going to want to just kind of build that gap again like you did in the first one.
And that's the thing about the Mustangs. I think they just kind of really have to kind of keep the ball in their possession. And I think they're just kind of getting a little antsy, but we'll see how they respond here in the next few minutes.
Yeah, Buccaneers have definitely looked a lot better in the turnover game. I don't think they've had any turnovers in the second half.
Rachel Dunn brings up the basketball, sends it to Asiana. Asiana swings it over to Taisha Walker. Gets to Kumba, and it looks like she almost was fouled and turned the ball over as number 4 for the Buccaneers. Tries to get to their best player, number 24, as Taisha Walker continues to just play great defense. And there's another basket by number 4 for the Buccaneers, Angelina Bell. 41-38. Just under 6 minutes in the third quarter, and it seems like the Buccaneers fan base are starting to really get on their feet here at the Mustang Arena.
A lot to be excited about if you're a Buccaneers fan.
And Kumba, and almost gets the ball taken over, but Kumba misses this 2 balls. Looks like the Buccaneers is able to get the rebound. Number 10 sends it back over, and it's fouled, and 1 is called. And it seems like it's on the floor. Seems like the fan base for the Atlantic Cape is on their feet. Oh, they call it shooting 2, I think they're calling. Sub is called. Sana is coming in for Kumba. Samasa, excuse me.
Mustangs have yet to find a real reaction to the Buccaneers in the second half, and it's cut down what was an 11-point lead going into the half. It's now only a 1-point lead, 41-40.
And it is a tie ball game, and a timeout is called by Atlantic Cape. 41-41. As Atlantic Cape seems to be able to keep this way going. They're saying they're not going away that easy.
No, and of course we talked about the fatigue that both teams are going to have to deal with, and both teams getting a little bit of time to rest, a lot of information to process in that first half. But Buccaneers made, especially on the offensive end, they've shored up their shooting, and they've just shored up their ability to just get to the back of the net. Yeah. Whether it's from 3, whether it's in the paint, they've just done a great job to come out in the first half.
And I think it really starts with Malina, number 24 for Atlantic Cape. She has come alive with just over 20 points right now, and it seems like public safety is going over to the Atlantic Cape bench to try to let them know that they have been, kind of too loud. They didn't want them to get on the floor or anything, but it seems like we're having a good game tonight. But mind you, it's still the third quarter. It's still kind of early right now. I wouldn't be surprised if the Mustangs would have come out and really kind of open up a can of what. So I wouldn't be surprised. And I think in Atlantic Cape's defense, they're saying just because we're 8 seed doesn't mean that we can't hang with the big dogs. And just because Monco is ranked 13th in the nation doesn't mean anybody could take a loss in this tournament. That's the beautiful part about March Madness, is that it's win or go home. With 5.5 minutes left in the third quarter, 41-41, as the Mustangs try to find their way back into this lead, as Rachel Dunn goes right to the basket, gets a basket, and here we go. Defense starts to be pressure on with Atlantic Cape.
And Mustangs understanding right now it's just 0-0. We'll take our time. We'll play our game. Up now 43-41.
And a traveling is called. Atlantic Cape, seems like the Mustangs are starting to get their energy back. I think it might have been something that needed to happen. A little smack in the face a few times might have woken up a little bit from a nightmare that could have occurred.
Yeah, not just the players on the court. We see the fans in the stands getting up, getting active, just like the Buccaneers are doing. So truly a lot of energy in the arena tonight.
And a block is called. Asiana tried to just get in there, and it's hit out of bounds on Asiana. Smart play by number 4 of Atlantic Cape. She was able to hit the ball off of Asiana, the Mustangs, Angelina Bell, with a smart play.
We'll see Melinda back to rebound that ball. Buccaneers, of course, looking for a response to the Mustangs' energy boost that we've got.
And it looks like a carry almost. I thought they would have called carry, but I guess the refs just let that slide. And what a great basket by number 4 again. What a response. Angela Bell just making great plays. Tie ball game here in the Mustang Arena, 43-43 with just 4 minutes left here in the third quarter. As Kyla gets the ball, she looks to do a play. What does she do with it? Swings it over Asiana. Asiana shoots a 3 and misses off the side of the backboard as Rachel Dunn is called for the foul. Just too aggressive right there in the bottom.
Yeah, we saw the Mustangs kind of pull out a little bit from underneath the basket there and just kind of left things open for the Buccaneers to grab that rebound. And then, of course, they'll regain possession as they'll look to bring it back to the court.
Atlantic Cape gets the ball over half-court line, and Isha Walker continues to play great defense on number 24, but she just seems to find, and a foul is called on Isha Walker with a push is what they're saying. Yeah, and now the Mustangs are almost in the bonus with 4 fouls right now here in the third quarter.
We talked about this the opposite way for the Buccaneers, that the Buccaneers needed to find a response for the fouls that they've had, and now the Mustangs need to find a response for all the fouls that they have. They don't want to get in the bonus too early here.
And what a great rebound by Kyla as she's able to hand it up to Asiana, and Asiana swings it over to Ish. And what a pass. I don't know if that was a smart play or not, but looks like a blocking foul. From here, it looks like it might have been a foul, but they called it as a block, and Mustang continue to have possession. Rachel gets the rebound and throws it off the glass and just misses it. Seems like the Mustangs just kind of need to calm down a little bit and just, run a play and just settle into the third quarter. Mind you, it's only the third quarter as number 24 from the Buccaneers tries to shoot a 3 but misses off the side of the rim, and Rachel Dunn gets the rebound as she brings it up a little slowly, gives it to Kyla. Swings it back over to Rachel as the Mustangs continue to try to make a play. Asiana looking to make something happen as she swings it over and she gives it back to Isha Walker. Isha Walker sends it to Rachel Dunn, and Rachel shoots another missing off the side of the backboard. It just seems like the Mustangs might be trying to, rush basket as she sends it to number 4. Number 4 shoots it off the top of the rim, and Sanaa grabs the rebound and sends it over to Kyla as Kyla sends it to Rachel. And Rachel sends it over to Asiana as she sends it to Ish and makes the basket. Looks like could have been something been called there, but might have not been called. So with just 2 minutes left in the third quarter, Mustangs up by 2, 45-43. And it looks like a player might have stepped out, but the refs didn't call it. And ball's on the floor as the Atlantic Cape shoots up a 3 and misses it. As Kyla gets another rebound, sends it over to Taisha Walker sends it up to Asiana. Asiana looks to make a play here. She brings it back out to Taisha Walker. Taisha Walker sends it back to for three. Asiana with a big three here in the Mustang Arena. The fans are on their feet right now. A timeout is called by Coach Collins.
Asiana looked incredibly poised on that, little sidestep, able to sidestep two defenders, and just goes, all right, I've got time.
This.
Takes not even an extra
Full
second,
timeout.
but really just calms herself for that shot. She knows that nobody's going to get in front of her, no one's going to get on top of her. Extends that Mustangs lead up by 5 as we just see the ball go back and forth, both sides of the net. Great looks at threes by the Buccaneers, but unable to convert any of them the way that they had in the first half. So as this game continues to just get a little bit closer, I'd love to say that we're on the edges of our seats, but we're actually standing out of our seats.
We're standing up right now. Yeah, I've been standing up since the beginning of the third quarter.
How exciting this game has been. Monco able to shore themselves up a little bit on the foul, but of course still in foul trouble. Trying to stay out of the bonus for as long as possible. Buccaneers still with one foul in this third quarter. It's a completely different narrative fouls-wise.
Yes.
And just in the game entirely. Mustangs came out to that 12-2 start to for things to close up towards the end. And we saw the Buccaneers kind of flip the script from their first quarter game plan.
Yeah, let's see how the Mustangs are going to respond to that. And the timeout, wasn't by Coach Collins. It was actually by the coach for the Buccaneers. And so they just took a full timeout to kind of get, the momentum, kind of slow down the momentum a little bit, because it seems like the Mustangs are starting to put their foot on the pedal.
Yeah, it's a flipped script. Mustangs have looked a lot more aggressive in the second half of this third quarter, whereas the Buccaneers have been the team to do that in the first two.
Yeah.
So, I think it's a great statement piece from the Mustangs, those 5 points, but they're going to have to keep up the pressure.
Looks like somebody might have got injured. As a travel is called, I think, for the Atlantic Cape, number 10 might have tripped on herself, or Allison Geraldo. Looks like her leg, something's wrong with her leg there.
And definitely not what you want to see from either of these teams, of course. You're just trying to inbound the ball there.
Yeah, it might have just looked like sometimes especially when you're playing sports like this, when you try to extend yourself or your leg or your arm, and you just might pull a muscle or a cramp happens or something like that,
Yeah, and both these teams have just been up and down the court so much. It's so much wear and tear.
On the body, yeah.
And, of course, both these teams, 7 players for the Mustangs, 6 players for the Buccaneers. You don't want to see any of them, have to leave the game in this manner. You want to see them put it all out on the court.
Yeah, and it seems like might be maybe a hip issue. I know that the Mustangs athletic trainer Josh is trying to attend to Atlantic Cape's number 10, Allison. Might be a hip or a leg issue right now, as we see. I think it might be a hip injury, hip issue. I'm not sure, but they have gotten her on her back now, as she tries to explain to athletic trainer Josh, as they want to try to help her forward. Might be maybe a back issue. I think they're trying to. I think the way it looks like she's trying to explain that maybe I think it might have been a hip or a back thing going on, but we'll see how they try to. Okay, she gets up and is able to get on her feet. Maybe it looks like a knee issue. Able to get up on her feet, and she able to jog back to the Buccaneers bench.
We'll be able to get this game back underway here soon. It looks like she might even remain in the game.
Yeah, right.
She'll continue in the game, which all power to you.
That's what I said.
That's
I would probably take a seat. I was about to say, I would take a few minutes just to catch my breath, take a break, maybe get some Gatorade, some water.
I think that might be what they're do?
Yeah, I think since she got injured,
are.
they might have to take her out for a few plays or whatnot. And let's see see how this we're gonna go. So here we go, 48-43 with 95 seconds left in the third quarter as the Atlantic Cape races up the field, up the court. Melinda with the ball, she's trying to make a play as Taisha Walker defends her. Oh, and what a great poke away by Sanaa. Tries to get the ball away, and that's number 10 for Atlantic Cape's back in the game. Allison, after injuring her knee on the play.
If anything, that's some great grit and determination out of number 10, Allison.
You know, like I said, this is it. It's win or go home from here. So if they don't, find a way to win, then it's over.
Truly leaving it all on the floor.
Yeah. And an and one call is called. Looks like Taisha Walker tried to step in, but number 24, Melinda of Atlantic Cape, is just getting to the basket. She has over 20 points right now.
Yeah, they're going to want to put this game right back within 2.
Yeah, and now the Mustangs are in the double bonus from now on. And she misses her first free throw, so now got the rebound. Sends it over to Adriana Golston. She's looking to set up the play as they set up the play now. She sends it over to Kyla. Kyla's looking to create a play. Sends it over to Taisha Walker, and Taisha Walker sends it to Sanaa. She shoots a basket and just comes right off the rim. Molly tried to get the rebound, but it just slipped out of her hand.
And again, we'll see what the Buccaneers can do on this offensive possession. They've been electric in this third quarter, just still trying to light things up in the last 38 seconds.
And what a great defense by Kyla for the Mustangs, defending number 10, Allison, as she gives it to Adriana. And Adriana sends it over, almost gets it tipped over. And Adriana throws it to Kyla as Kyla shoots a 2! What a great shot by Kyla. 50-45, 15 seconds left in the third quarter.
Mustangs on their feet, Buccaneers on their feet as well. These two teams know exactly what it means to end off this third quarter.
And what a great, almost a deflection by Kyla as the Buccaneers, Molly grabs a rebound. And that's the end of the third quarter here. This game has gotten really tight, really close.
Yeah, 50-45. What was an 11-point lead to start this third quarter is now just a 5-point lead. Mind you, at one point, we were within one. So the Mustangs, great to kind of respond.
It was a tie game at once. Yeah, it was a tie game. Yeah, 41-41 at one point.
So Mustangs did a great job, kind of responding to the Buccaneers. But if it wasn't for that padding that they had built in the first two quarters, it would have been a completely different narrative.
And I think that's what's going to, and as you can see right now, Coach Collins is really continuing to motivate her team as she's like telling them just keep moving, keep passing the ball, just continue to do what you got to do. This is our home. This is what we were made to do. And like I said before, just because someone's an 8th seed doesn't mean they cannot compete with the number 1 seed. So I think that's something to really keep in mind right now. This is the quarterfinals of the National Junior College Athletic Association Region 19 District Tournament here in Montgomery County Community College in Mustang Arena. And the winner of this takes on the number 4 or number 5 seed Northampton or Brookdale. So in some people's eyes, people thought Mustangs were going to come in here and roll over Atlantic Cape as they've done in the past, the last few games. But looks like Atlantic Cape's kind of keeping up with them.
Yeah, it's all going to be about the aggression in this fourth quarter. We've seen both teams kind of have it on, have it off, but there are 10 minutes left to play in this game.
This is it right here.
Whoever loses this game, their season's over.
It's over.
You've got nothing to lose, and you've got everything to gain. So why not leave it all on the court? We've seen every member of both teams do it so far. Mustangs are going to look to put points on the board first here in the fourth.
There we go, as Taisha Walker sends it over to Kyla. They're looking to run a play as Kyla almost gets the ball stolen away, and it's tipped and it's stolen by number 10 from Atlantic Cape, as Atlantic Cape sends it over to number 4. Oh, what a good pluck away by Taisha Walker as she sends it over. What a great layup by Isha Walker from Adriana.
And I know it's not the way that the Mustangs wanted to start the fourth quarter, of course, with a steal by the Buccaneers, but
where you get the ball back?
they took a second, they took a pause, which I think is what both these teams, if you want to win, it's going to be the ability to kind of calm yourself down. Forget the stakes, forget what you got to play for here, and just remember, this is a game of basketball. Same as the 24 others that they've played throughout the season. It's just another game. Let's not think about the implications right now. Let's just play some good ball.
Right, and as Atlantic Cape, an offensive foul is called with an arm push off. She's been doing that all game, but I'm starting to see that they're starting to call this a little tight now.
Of course, the fouls have been the real storyline of this game. So you're going to want to limit the turnovers as well. The Buccaneers really struggled with that in the first half, did an excellent job of mitigating the damage in the third quarter, and now going into the fourth, they already got 2.
As Asiana sends it over to Molly. And a traveling call is called by Asiana.
These refs have gotten tight on both teams. So, of course, the ball back and forth yet again. 9 minutes. We're almost through the first minute.
The fourth quarter, yeah. It's already chaos, and some of the fans right now are starting to talk a little crazy to each other as this game becomes more of a competitive nature than anything else. As Atlantic Cape gets the ball, number 4 for Atlantic Cape. Sends it over, and it's stolen. Asiana heads down the court as she starts to race down the court and sends it over to Rachel. What a great rip through by Rachel, and she shoots a 2 right in the face of an Atlantic Cape player. 54-45, 8.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Let's see if the Mustangs could extend the lead.
This seems a lot like how the Mustangs played that first quarter, not as aggressive as they are playing right now.
And a 3, what a great response by number 4 of Atlantic Cape.
Both these teams.
Angelina Bell, I tell you what, Angelina Bell and Melinda, number 24, they have really been showing out this game today.
Despite the exhaustion, despite the lack of players, they continue just to look beautiful for
a great rebound by Rachel.
The Buccaneers.
Even though Molly may have, and it's stolen. And what a great response by number 4 of Atlantic Cape, Angelina Bell. She gets the steal and able to dish the ball off of Taisha Walker.
Both teams in the first 2 minutes of this fourth quarter have just punched themselves into overdrive, trying to get as many points on the board. Of course, only 7 scored so far, looking to get more.
And number 3, and it's an air ball. Looks like a forced 3 by number 4, Angelina Bell, for the Atlantic Cape Buccaneers.
But if we hark back to the first quarter, I talked about how if the Buccaneers wanted to stay in this game and to keep it aggressive, they needed to know what they were going to be and be decisive, and they've done that through the second half. We saw that shot. Despite it being an air ball, it was just a catch and throw.
As the Mustangs look to run a play and just kind of keep the ball out of the Atlantic Cape's hands, as Rachel gets the ball and she's almost turns it over. 7 seconds left, and the ball's turned over. Seems like the pressure is on. Mustangs have the lead, and it looks like Atlantic Cape throws up a Hail Mary and has turned the ball over as Kumba gets the ball to Taisha Walker.
Yeah, it didn't feel like Atlantic Cape knew that they were going to throw up the Hail Mary. So, of course, Mustangs able to make the best out of it, and they'll regain possession.
And Taisha Walker shoots a 3 and makes it in! Makes it in, number 10, Taisha Walker with the 3.
57-48 is now the score. Mustangs want to bring this thing back over 10 like they've had it in the first and second quarter. But we know the Buccaneers are not.
What great defense by Kala. Kala makes great defense. What an effort. And the ball's turned over. Oh, looks like it was tipped out of bounds by Kala. And we are getting a lot of energy here tonight in the Mustang Arena. 6:43 left in the fourth quarter. 57-48. Can the Mustangs hang on to this lead and extend it and get on to the semifinals of this Region 19 tournament? And then the 3 is put up, and it's in! Number 10 from Atlantic Cape, Alyssa. They have really been coming alive with these 3s the last few minutes. Atlantic Cape have been shooting up 3s and been banking them in.
The Buccaneers have played this entire game from that 3 line.
And what a great shot by Kumba, but Rachel was able to get the rebound. Oh, and misses it, but Kumba gets the rebound, and it's fouled.
like I was just trying to say before we got that little play going underway, the Buccaneers, their entire strategy tonight has really been from that three-point line.
Yep.
And unfortunately, it was just a little slow to get started. Through the first and second quarters, I think they only scored 2 or 3 threes. But getting into the second half of this game, they put up 2 in a row and put up much more than
just
that.
Misses her first free throw. Yeah, that's going to be the determining factor here tonight is the free throws. Can the Mustangs knock down the free throws and close out this game?
57-51 the score. It's back within 6.
And Kuma
back
makes her
within
second,
7. I'll correct
second
myself.
shot. As number 24 of Atlantic Cape. And Rachel steals the ball as she comes back up, gets it up the court, sends it to Taisha Walker. And it's foul! Oh, no, they don't call it a foul, but she goes and takes it anyway.
Ish looked incredible on that play, poised, knew exactly the shot that she wanted to make, and she made it.
As the Mustangs continue to bring the pressure on defense. And the fans wanted a walking call. And it looks like a jump ball is called. Seems like it's going to stay possession Buccaneers.
Definitely a lot going on at the far end of the court in the last couple of seconds. So Buccaneers are going to be happy that they regained possession of the ball. Of course, again, Mustangs back up by 9. We know how quickly the Buccaneers can try to cut that down by 3. Yep. And already taking looks at the three-point line.
Oh, and the foul's called on Kylo. Just trying to just get the ball in there, just trying to get her hand in there to poke the ball out, but she reached too far in and got the foul.
2-1 currently on fouls. This fourth quarter, 5 minutes and 39
yeah, it's been pretty heated, man. This is a great matchup right now. Number 8 seed trying to upset the number 1 seed here in the Mustang Arena. What a block, and they call a foul on Kuma Samasa. I don't know about that one, but, you know, the refs knows. I guess that's why they're there on the court.
Yeah, both teams now with 2 fouls apiece. Remember, both these teams have had at least 1 set of bonuses. I know both teams have had 2 sets of bonuses.
Yep.
So
looks like number 10 for the Atlantic Cape and Allison is going to the line shooting 2. And she misses off the inside of the rim.
I believe these are going to be some of the first points by Allison after that kind of scary fall that we saw a little bit earlier in the third quarter.
As you can see right there on Kyla's face, she's ready. She's ready for a rebound, and if Allison of the Atlantic Cape Buccaneers, Allison makes her second as the Mustangs are looking to extend the lead 60-52. Mustangs up by 8 with just under 5.5 minutes as Asiana goes up and Rachel gets a rebound. Puts the 2 back in there.
Textbook layup from Rachel there, just underneath the basket, waited for her opportunity. Didn't, rush herself on it, and able to put 2 points back on the board for the Mustangs. Now a 10-point game, 62-52.
And what a great defense by Isha as Isha passes up, and what a fake by Asiana. Oh, she misses her. And Kuma Samasa tries to get a rebound, and a traveling call is called. Oh no! What a bad possession by the Mustangs, as Asiana had an open layup, but she just went off a rim, and a timeout is called by Coach Collins.
Yeah,
looks like it's going to be a full timeout. It's called.
And, kind of what we saw of the Mustangs here, a little bit rushed. You saw the fade come out, and she just kind of immediately went into it. You saw Kuma come in as well, as she just grabs it. And they just want to get those points on the board, continue building that lead past 10, which is what it is right now. It doesn't feel like a 10-point game.
No, it doesn't.
These 2 teams are fighting
very competitive.
Like there's nothing on the board right now. And the next 2 points win the game, which I love. If we see this for the next 4 minutes and 51 seconds,
and as you see, look at Coach Collins. You see what Coach Collins is saying? She said, grabbing the rebound, honing this moment in. This is our time. You cannot continue to play around with, because there's going to be teams in the national tournament that will not take these type of possessions for granted. And I think it starts here. This is where the national tournament really technically starts in the region areas. And I'm hoping that Coach Collins really gets that message across to her girls that just because we're playing an 8 seed and we're a number 1 seed at home doesn't mean that they're going to quit on them.
Yeah, and the other thing I like seeing right here, I don't know if she'd be talking about it in this moment, but look at how calm the Mustangs look right now. Of course, they're all tired. Everyone would be at this point.
Gassed.
But they're taking a moment of calm. They're listening to what they need to listen to, and just to take a moment to yourselves and know, all right, 4 minutes and 51 seconds is all we need. We're up. We're chill. We've got, let's continue with it and just play our game the way we've been playing.
Honestly, if I was the Mustangs, and I'm sure Coach Collins may have mentioned this to them, I wouldn't want to score too fast necessarily. Now, I know we want to go up as much points as we can, but if we continue to keep think about it, if we keep every possession from now on to the end of the game for 30 seconds and we're able to get a basket from that, I don't think there's no way that Atlantic Cape can come back from that. But we'll see what happens with Atlantic Cape getting the possession right now.
Trying to drive that ball upfield almost immediately.
And another foul is called on Kyla, just trying to get her hands in there, but she's just hitting the player off the side. I want to say that's her third foul of the game.
So again, foul trouble coming in play for both of these teams, a little bit more so for the Mustangs than it is for the Buccaneers.
Oh, excuse me, for her fourth foul. That's her fourth foul.
So only one more before she's out. So,
as the Mustangs crowd is making some noise as number 10 of the Atlantic Cape shoots her first free throw. What a great shot by Allison. She's starting to come alive as well.
If you can't hear it over our mics, we've been hearing it over our headphones, but both these teams have come out in force tonight to try to support both these teams throughout the Region 19
and she misses off the side of the backboard, off the side of the rim, excuse me. As Rachel Dunn gets the rebound, she brings it up court. Looks like Rachel's kind of determined.
Buccaneers really focusing on the defensive end. They had no one upfield in case the Mustangs to kind of defend that ball after the second free throw.
And Kumba throws up a prayer almost, looks like, and got her own rebound, but misses the layup.
And again, a couple of quick throws up from a couple of quick attempts from Kumba there. Just a little fast. She just needs to take an extra second.
And what a great defense. And a turnover by Atlantic Cape as the Mustangs are looking to respond to that turnover.
4 minutes and 12 seconds now on the clock. 62-53. The Mustangs look to drive.
Mustang, Taisha Walker gonna run the play. She goes over and swings it over to Asiana. Let's see what Asiana's gonna do. Swings it back to Taisha Walker, and she swings it. And she's able to, as Atlantic Cape gets the rebound and they send it up court. Number 10 of the Buccaneers swings it over to number 4. Oh, and what a block by Kumba Samasa. And she gets it up to Kumba. And she misses the layup. Another missed layup by Kumba Samasa. Oh, no.
And Kumba's just been looking for any shot that she can throw into that basket tonight, but it has unfortunately not been that well. Number 4's got it
an offensive charge of Rachel Dunn gets in there. Like she was able to get a good position.
I believe that one was on number 4, and I want to focus on Angelina Bell, one of the leaders of this game. Of course, we've been talking about her a lot and a lot about Melinda as well. But on those last couple of plays, Angelina just sitting up court, trying the best that she can just to create plays as much as humanly possible, and has been doing it. It just really hasn't shown up as much on the scorecard in the last minute or so. 3 minutes and 19 seconds on the clock.
Yep, that's right.
And it's still that 9-point game that we saw almost 2 minutes ago.
And a timeout is called by Atlantic Cape, a 30-second one, just to kind of get his girls to regroup and kind of talk to them about how to kind of calm this game down, because they're only down by 9 points with 3 minutes left in the game. It could be a lot could happen in 3 minutes.
And that fatigue truly setting in on both teams. You can see just how much this game is meant to both these teams. And they continue just to up the tempo between the two of them.
Yeah.
Very quick plays on both sides of the ball. And, these fouls, other than the timeouts, the fouls have been the real moment that you've seen both these teams being like, great, let's just, even if it's against us, it's a second for us to take a breath, refocus, recenter, and get our heads back into this game.
And that's one thing that, the Mustangs, I kind of feel for them a little bit, because they had 3 possessions where they could have had 6 points. and they missed the layups, or they got the rebound but they weren't able to respond, or they got in a turnover and they turned the ball back over. So I'm thinking the Mustangs might be kind of calming down a little bit and seeing how they're going to respond to this.
We see Kumba off the court now. Not quite sure who they subbed in for her.
As Taisha Walker is looking to make a play, she sends it back to Adriana. Adriana with the play. What a Euro step. Oh, and just missed it off the side of the rim. And that's number 10 for the Buccaneers. Sends it up. Oh, and a backcourt violation is called. Oh, boy.
The Buccaneers have been doing what I said the Mustangs were doing really well in the first half, which is getting under that net. Getting under the net, being able to take the rebounds. A little wordy on my part. But
no, I gotcha.
The Buccaneers have been a brutal presence underneath the net in the later half of this game. And the Mustangs just need to find a way to respond to it, get back under the net, keep on with the rebound.
Rachel sends it over to Adriana. Adriana driving to the basket, sends it over to Ish, and she shoots a nice little two shot and gets it right in. Ish has continued to come alive here on these open shots and been doing great on defense.
I think that shot from Ish is the perfect reset for the Mustangs, just to kind of reset your expectations when you're on the offensive end.
And what a great rebound by Molly, and the foul's called on number 24 of the Buccaneers, Melinda. She has 25 points tonight. As a substitution comes in, number 23 for the Buccaneers.
It comes down to this. 2 minutes and 8 seconds left on the clock.
The last 2 minutes of the game.
64-53. Mustangs, for the first time since, I believe, the second quarter, back up to an 11-point lead.
As Rachel drives a dive in, and what a nice little turnaround, but she's not able to get it in.
Buccaneers back underneath the basket and making a quick drive up the court.
Oh, and it looks like Kylie gets a rebound. And a time. Looks like a jump ball, and possession is going to stay at the Mustangs. What a great rebound by Colin, just hanging on to the ball with, man, I tell you, with just almost a minute, coming up on a minute and a half left in the fourth quarter here. Mustangs up 64-53. As Adriana looking for a play to rest, she spins. And she swings it over to Molly. Molly put a great pump fake. And off the back, and she gets her own rebound. And another rebound, she gets another rebound, swings it over to Rachel as Rachel shoots. Oh my God!
Rachel with the
right in the girl's
shot.
face. Oh man, what a great response by the Mustangs as they come back. Atlantic Cape tries to respond. Number 10 of Atlantic Cape, Allison gets the ball. And the foul is called on Adriana, the Mustangs. That's going to send, it's going to be on the floor here. Oh, it's offensive foul, excuse me. Offensive foul is called by number 10 of Atlantic Cape, Allison.
Mustangs back with the ball now.
And now they are in the double bonus. Looks like there might be some discrepancy going on right here with if we can get a shot of the refs consulting.
I'm not quite sure what they're going to talk about here at midcourt.
It looks like I'm not a lip reader, but it looks like she has 5 fouls.
We're kind of discussing the foul situation right now. I love what I saw out of Rachel on those last couple of plays. Really just shooting like there's nobody in front of her. Just like you're shooting around during practice and completely calm and just able to hit those shots. 66-53.
Oh, okay. So I guess we got everything situated. Oh, okay. I thought one of the players might have had 5 fouls, but I was wrong. So here goes Mustangs. Grab the ball with just under a minute left in the fourth quarter, the quarterfinals. And what a great move by Adriana. She kind of held the ball in and she sends it over to Kylie for 3. She misses it off the side of the rim as Atlantic Cape. Oh, whoa, that's smart. That was a smart play. I don't know what she thought, but she jumped in the air and threw the ball off of Rachel Dunn's back.
No, but it's a brilliant. Honestly,
I mean, it is actually.
it's a brilliant play when you think about it because it stops the clock. 42 seconds.
That's correct. And you don't have to spend no timeouts. Nope. Here we go. 40 seconds left. Oh, and Atlantic Cape turns the ball over. And that might have sealed the game for the Mustangs.
35.9 seconds on the clock.
30 seconds on the shot clock.
30 seconds on the shot clock. So we're going to see at least one more possession here. But the Buccaneers, those same mistakes that we saw in the first quarter where you're just trying to dial in at different tempos and you're just kind of getting lost in translation. Mustangs are going to hold on to that ball for as long as possible, though.
With just 15 seconds on the shot clock, looks like the Mustangs are going to go ahead and win this game in the quarterfinals. And 7 seconds left. Yeah, there's a foul's called. As Adriana just throws up the ball for 3. Looks like an intentional. Now she's going to the line shooting 2.
This game, so much closer than what the score tells us. I mean, that third quarter between these two teams, at one point it was tied in the third quarter. So it really speaks to what the Mustangs and Coach Collins have been able to build with this program, one that was just like great. In the middle of the third quarter, everything's reset, and now we're back to 0. Let's just play our game. And it builds out a 13-point lead currently. 9.5 seconds left on the clock as that second free throw.
Coming up for Adriana. She misses her first, but she goes ahead and drains her second free throw. And that's going to do it here in the Mustang Arena as Atlantic Cape turns another ball over with 9.5 seconds left. The Mustangs are going to go ahead out with the win, 67-53 here in Mustang Arena. This game ended up being a close one in the third quarter.
In the third quarter, at least, it was a close one. And I think what the Mustangs did beautifully was, again, just relocking it in, taking a second to kind of chill themselves out. That poise, that ability just to remain locked in throughout the entire game, because we saw it in the third quarter. They were still locked in at the third quarter.
Yeah.
Is what pulled them ahead in the fourth. Of course, a win right here, right now, means that we will be back here on Thursday for the game, either up against the number 5 seeded team Northampton or up against the number 4 seeded team Brookdale.
As the Mustangs take the win, their first playoff win since last year. So this will be 67-53 Mustangs. They're going to be, as you said, JT, the winner of Brookdale and Northampton Thursday, back here at 5 o'clock. So if the Mustangs, they are going to the Final Four of the regional tournament, and if the winner Thursday wins Thursday, they go on and play either at the top seed Saturday for the Region 19 championship for a bid to the national tournament. Appreciate you guys for tuning in to us. It is the National Junior Colleges Athletic Association Region 19 North Atlantic District Tournament here at Montgomery County Community College inside the Mustang Arena. I was your host, Donnell, along with my man, J.D. Salzberg, my man. And shout out to our production crew of the mass media production team here at Montgomery County Community College. Also, check out the game tomorrow. The men's basketball will be taking on, I believe, I want to say, I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know right now. We'll have that information
for you guys tomorrow.
Exactly. So tune in tomorrow at 7 o'clock here at Montgomery County Community College. We'll be seeing you guys later, and keep your head up.
Yeah.
Looking to make some history.
Yeah, hoping for